like when things happen and when dramas happen in our life,
Mm.
that we get caught in the little things, like, as an example, somebody's annoying us because they've done something, and we find that to be entitled or rude or disrespectful. But really, how important is that compared to our relationship with that person?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all small things that the ego gets entangled in, because
Yeah.
the ego needs to have significance and hold significance.
Yeah.
Like, but do they really matter? Like, do the small things really matter? And I feel that when we get back to love and say, look, that doesn't matter, it's just my relationship with you that matters, it's all I care about, then
Yeah.
the other things disappear too.
That you cannot have the one without the other. You cannot have the harmonics without the disharmonics. You cannot have the happiness without the sadness. You cannot have the joy without the hurt. These help.
Welcome to Galactic Guidance, the show that channels the wisdom of beings from higher realms. Join us as we tap into the cosmic consciousness and receive messages of clear guidance to help us navigate our spiritual evolution on planet Earth. So sit back, relax, and let's connect into the higher frequency. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Galactic Guidance.
Yay. Welcome.
Hello. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about how do we navigate through the emotion of hurt when the people we love, the people we care for, they let us down. We feel like they let us down. We feel like we've given our all into this relationship. And sometimes we feel like almost like we get kicked in the guts. And we feel very hurt that this is happening with people that we love. So what we're going to do today in this session is we're going to get Marcus Bird to channel the high dimensional being, Ahmed, to bring us some words of wisdom about how does the human deal with the emotion of hurt? How do we react? How do we respond? Do we just let things go? Do we implement boundaries? Do we go straight into forgiveness? Do we allow the emotion to just sit with us? And so let's do that.
Let us do that. All right, I'm just going to let go.
So Marcus, whenever you're ready to
yes,
get into
let's
your
do that.
state.
All right.
It's a very interesting topic. So as Marcus is going into his state and letting go of all the events of yesterday and all the events of today, it's time to get a higher perspective.
It is much of the joyness that we are being in this presence, in this moment of the timescape. Much joy for being in this presence.
Welcome, Ahmed. We're so happy that you're here. Just before we pressed record on this particular episode today, we were discussing about, the emotion of hurt and feeling hurt with people that we do care for, people that we do love, feeling let down, feeling as if we're not getting back in a relationship what we give. If I give my own personal example of a time and a place when I was a stepmother, and it felt very much like I had put everything into the relationship and that I was not being treated with any kind of love or respect back. Now when I reflect back on it, I know that it was part of the journey, and I know that all I needed to do ever was to open my heart and to keep sending the love and light. But what I had to do at the time was actually stop the relationship to protect my energy. And we would love your opinion on this very matter. Like, would you say that even though it was a lower level of consciousness that I was holding back then, that at the time I needed to actually stop the relationship, but now I know that maybe I would have resolved it in a different way. So what's the higher perspective on dealing with the emotion of hurt?
Mm. There is a much in this experience of the journey in this of the theme parkness that you are here to be in the experience of. All of the experiences are to be of the assistance to help you to step into the fullness of the resonant frequency that you are in this existence, this journey of being in this theme park as such, as we have been of the speaking on many of the times, is to learn and experience all of these, what you call these emotions. One of the things that you must be of the awareness is that these are of the transient nature of the experience. These are not the fullness of the experience. These are not the absoluteness of the beingness of the experience. This is much more of the assisting in the reflecting back so that you can be more in the fullness of who you are. These are all frequencies. These are all resonant fields that are playing out in this journey that you have chosen to be on in the process of the unfolding, in the process of the stepping into the fullness of the who you are, in the hurtness of the experience, in this emotion, in this experience that you are of the speaking of. There is much for the reflection that you can be in the process of allowingness. So when the hurtness is of the appearing, it is much of the important to just to be in the transition of this hurtness. This of the woundingness is bringing up the past experiences that you have been in the onness with, and that these need to be in the transformation, that you need to be of the moving through this in a transformative, expansive nature of the realities. This experience is for you to be much more into the connectedness of the transient journey of the experienceness. We understand this hurt. We understand that there is of the painness that you are participating in, and this of the painness is not not of the design to be of the cruelness or be of the punishmentness, but rather to assist you to transition through the journey that you have been in the experience of. When you are in the space of not being as the evolved, when you are in the space of not being as the consciousness, the life that you are in the journey of provided you with check marks, these waypoints for you to awaken, to become more of the consciousness, to become more of the realization of the who you truly are. In these moments of the hurtness that you are of the experiencing, it is the opportunity for the mirror of reality to be there in your experience. These are transitory moments in your experience. They are here to assist you to restabilize, to step into your resonant frequency. For these are the opposite of your resonant frequencies. These are the opposite of the harmonic nature of the truth of who you are. These are disharmonic realizations to help you to become more of the harmonic once again. You must be of the remembering that you cannot have the one without the other. You cannot have the harmonics without the disharmonics. You cannot have the happiness without the sadness. You cannot have the joy without the hurt. These help to stabilize you into the resonant field of the fullness of the who you are. And they are here as the what you might understand as the balance point of you being in the fullness of the resonant frequencies. But we feel into them. We sense that these hurtings, that these what you would call of the woundings, they make you feel much of the sadness. They make you feel much of the pain. And we understand that the human experience is that you wish not to be in the pain. But this is part of the journey and this of the theme park, that there is going to be of the painness. This is just the balance point for the resonant field to amplify, to activate itself in the fullness of itself.
Because in the journey of the hurtingness, in the journey of the painness, you are learning to be stronger in the resonant, stabilized field. You are learning to be stronger in the love field. You are learning to be more of who you are. If you allow this hurting that you're speaking of to be there of all of the time, then this is not of the helpfulness. If you allow it to be of the transitory nature of the reality of this experience, then you can use it to help you to be realigned back into the fullness of who you are, the fullness of the resonant field that you are here to be of the expressing of. You are here to be experiencing of the middle of the harmonics. This is not to be of the two of the higher harmonic, and not to be of the lower disharmonic, but to be there in the stabilized resonant field of the experience of who you are. This is the journey of these experiences. For you have the experience of the much of the happiness and of the joyness, and then you have the experience of the sadness and of the hurtingness. These are just assisting you to find your space in the harmonic resonant field of the truth of who you are.
So what I'm hearing from you is that as every other experience in this theme park of life, this is yet another experience where through this experience we get connecting with who we are. And who we really are is an expanded version of what we're presented with in that moment. And really there's nothing for us to do except to give love, because that's who we are. We are love. And so there's nothing else to do except to give love in those situations. That's what we're asked to step up into. Would that be
This
right?
is the allowingness for you to come back into your resonant frequency. This is where this concept, this is where this understanding, this is where this energy of the love field that you are speaking of is residing. It is living in, is the living, breathing aspect of the truth of who you are in the resonant field of existence. This is where the love frequency exists. This is where the fullness of your resonant frequency exists. It is not in the joyness. It is not in the excitement. It is not in the happiness. And likewise, it is not in the sadness. It is not in the hurting. These are just reflections to assist you to return back to the center of and the stabilized, harmonic reality of who you are.
Beautiful. And so before we call Marcus back, I was wondering if perhaps you had a personal message to give Marcus on this day.
This of the experience provides much of the joyness to our experience, and we have the joyness in through this observation of this experience. And this might all be of the sounding like we are not in the caring aspect, but this is not of the truth. We are in the joyness because this is awakening of the moments. This is where the beingness in the human experience stabilizes back into the fullness resonant field. There is much what you might understand as the learning aspect of this experience, but it's not for the learning. It's much more for the remembering. And when you allow the ego to dissipate, when you remove yourself from the what you consider the hurtingness, you are stabilizing back much more into the love nature that you are speaking of. Without these experiences, you may not be in the fullness of the resonant field. You may not be in the fullness of feeling in the love energy, for this is the ultimate of the energy in the universe. Where your quantum physicists talk about the dark matter, this dark matter is primarily the love particle, the love aspect of the universe. This is the one energetic constant that connects all of us together in this of the universal nature. This is the ultimate of the one verse. This is the ultimate of the resonant field of the universe teeming with life. This universe is in a constant expansion, a constant evolution of conscious reality. This conscious reality has a thread through it of the love energy that you are of the speaking of. We are in the joyness when we experience these awakening moments for you as the human experience, for For as part of the family of light, this is one of the joyful moments when we see you expressing through these awakening moments of experience. For in this awakening moment, you can find more of the love. You can connect more to the resonance. You can express more of this energy into your existence. Therefore, this is a joyful of the moment. We understand of the pain that this is of the experiencing. We understand the what you would call of the resentment, of the egotistical wounding, but this is not of the truth. This is just helping you to return back to the resonant field of the existence of who you are, so that you can express more of that to into this universe.
Beautiful. So what I heard you say then was that every opportunity where, and I use the word opportunity, where we get hurt is an opportunity to return back to our resonant field of love. So every time that we receive pain, that we are hurt, it is a golden opportunity to open our heart even more. And we need to be grateful for these opportunities, because now we can connect back to our resonant field. And so that's a very beautiful message. Ahmed, is there any final thing that you would like to say before we bring Marcus back?
This is much like the lighthouses that you have on the next to the rocky cliffs. These are the lighthouses of the moment, that they are showing you much of the way. And even though you get very close to the rocks and maybe even hit the rocks of sometimes, these lighthouses are there to help show you the way. And even if you hit off the rocks, like this has been in the happening, then you have an awareness and awakening that you still see the light. And this light is what will guide you back to the resonant frequency of who you are. This will help you to have more of the love experience. This will help you to have more of the joyful, harmonic, resonant experience that we wish all of the beings in this of the universe to have. This is what it is here to help you with.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You know, I love the analogy she gave about the lighthouse at the end, which is, you know, we go through these periods of time in our life which are really testing, and our ego gets wounded and our wounds get opened up, and sometimes it feels like we're crashing against the rocks, but there's a lighthouse there, which is our consciousness, and the whole time we're just getting closer and closer back to who we really are.
Yeah,
And this
that's the
and
journey.
these instances give us the golden ticket, the opportunity to get closer, because now we have a choice. We're presented with a drama or a stress situation. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to go further away from the lighthouse, or do you want to go closer to the lighthouse?
Yeah.
And where we are now, we have to choose the lighthouse. We have to choose getting closer to who we are, and that is only unconditional love.
Yeah, that's the energy. That's it. That resonance is what we're moving towards, expanding into.
And it feels like, Marcus, like when things happen and when dramas happen in our life, that we get caught in the little things. Like, you know, as an example, somebody's annoying us because they've done something, and we find that to be entitled or rude or disrespectful. But really, how important is that compared to our relationship with that person?
Yeah.
You know, they're all small things that the ego gets entangled in, because the ego needs to have significance and hold significance.
Yeah.
Like, but do they really matter? Like, do the small things really matter? And I feel that when we get back to love and say, look, that doesn't matter. It's just my relationship with you that matters. It's all I care about. Then the other things disappear too.
Yeah.
Because
Totally.
those tests stop playing out.
Yeah, without a doubt.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, geez. Yeah, I think, again, I think it's all guiding us home, whatever home is, right, into that fullness of who we are. The ancient Egyptians had a whole process around the underworld, which is sort of, it's like going into the dark spaces, you know, to actually become the fullness of who we are. And so, they ran processes around this to do this almost on purpose so that it could be cleared and we could move through it. Whereas we tend to fall into these spaces almost by accident. Well, it seems like by accident. And it can
But it
seem
really
mean and
isn't.
cruel. It's not by accident, of course not. It's not
There's
by
no
accident.
accident.
No, well, that's right. It just seems to be accidents or events or situations that all of a sudden just appear out of nowhere or whatever, or build and then appear. But none of them are by accident. And again, the ancient Egyptians used to not force these things, but actually purposely go into the underworld to help them to awaken, because most of the awakening happens in the darkness, in the underworld experience.
Yeah.
And that's the journey.
Exactly. So for anyone listening out there, if you're going through some sort of experience with another person and you feel hurt, if you really care for that person, the stuff doesn't matter.
No.
The stuff that you're upset about doesn't matter. It really doesn't. The only thing that matters is the relationship.
Yeah.
The relationship is the only thing that matters, because in the end, that's all we've got.
Yeah.
And so let the stuff go. Let the unimportant stuff go. Like the way that I always think about it is that, and I have to remind myself of this often, is when I'm on my deathbed, am I going to be thinking about the stuff, or am I going to be thinking about the relationship?
Yeah, that's right.
What's important? What do we need to carry in our heart?
Yeah.
And so we need to just let go of the stuff and just get back home to what really matters, which is the people in our lives.
Yeah. And whatever the wounding is, whatever the thing, getting to the sort of thread of it, which is so often not what's presenting in the moment. It's the stuff that's happened behind the scenes, and just helping, these things come up to help us to heal those and to step through them and pass them and back into more of who we are. So, anyway,
because
interesting
because if someone lashes out in a way that's hurtful, that's got nothing to do with the situation that's just presented itself.
No.
There's something deeper going on.
Yeah.
And to see that and to feel into that deeper, that's what you're saying in terms of the thread. Is to feel into the deeper and actually to let the person know that you see them, you hear them, you feel them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's a fun journey, hey?
It's a fun journey, and we see it from that perspective, that it is a theme park.
Just the journey, just the theme park.
That it's another theme park, another test, another experience, another human experience for us humans to have.
Yeah.
And there is no mistakes, there is no right or wrong. It's just a human experience.
Yeah.
All it is. And so, the message is focus on what matters and let go of what doesn't.
Yeah, totally. So.
Relationships matter, people matter.
All right. Yeah.
So I think that's a beautiful way to end this episode. And
thank you for listening.
Marcus, thank you for bringing in that beautiful message. I love that analogy with the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And we just need to remember that sometimes we get, we go against the rocks. We get swept aside. We go under the water.
Yeah, that's right.
But just keep looking at that lighthouse, because that's where we're heading.
The lighthouse. Yep, that's it. Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Guidance. We hope that the messages that you receive from the higher realms have brought you clarity, insight, and comfort. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Remember to stay connected to your own inner guidance and trust the journey ahead.